Welcome to Coach's Corner. I'm your host, Sean Anderson for Ponca City Public Schools. On this edition of Coach's Corner, Coach Degan, the Ponca City Wildcat cross-country coach, is in here with us. We're going to chat about Ponca City High School cross-country. Also, the head coach of the Ponca City Wildcat football team, Coach Scott Harmon, will be our guest on this edition a little bit later. And this is the first edition of Coach's Corner of the school year. We're excited for a big season of Coach's Corner. Every week, look for this show as we interview coaches and talk about Pohai athletics. And we start the very first episode of Coach's Corner this school year with Coach Degan of the cross-country team. Coach, thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Now, before we talk about the meets, because 2 days before school started, you had the big Ponca City meet. That was it, out at the lake. And then all of the rest of the meets, you're on the road for cross-country. Before we talk about the Ponca City meet, the Hennessy meet, and the big Carl Albert meet, which is a big deal, let's talk about your runners and coming into this season, how they were prepared because of one very cool club that was put together for the summer. Can you tell us about it?
Yeah, we had a summer running club hosted by our booster club. I tell you, our booster club is just incredible. They really are. They work so hard and they're so invested in our kids, and not just their own. And that's the exciting thing about it. Like I was telling you earlier, we had a mother whose daughter was injured, not able to run. She drove clear to Hennessy and she cheered for all those other kids. And I think it's exciting to see that they're so invested and they're so excited about all the kids, not just their own. But some of those moms, they stood in for us, and they ran the club during the summer when all the coaches were out of pocket. Maybe we were gone or out of town or whatever, but they have done an amazing job, and I can't say enough good things about our booster club.
Yeah, just incredible. Ponca City meet 2 days before school starts. Is that a challenge to have the big Ponca City meet even before school starts? I mean, to kick off the season, is that kind of a challenge for you?
Well, it is, but again, the booster club just jumped right in, and what happened there was we typically run our meet on the 23rd. We would have run it instead of the Thursday before or the Tuesday before school started. We would have been the Thursday of the first week. Mm-hmm. But Coach Bloom from Enid called me, and he that's when they were going to have their meet. So we would have gone to a meet anyway, but it wouldn't have been ours. He had to have knee replacement surgery. So we talked, and he said, why don't you use my date? You'll be able to pick up some more teams because that'll be the only one. So we did, yeah. And it worked. And we had a lot more people come to our meet, so it was really good. But the booster club, they just jumped right in there and just did a great job, and the meet just was perfect. It went off great. The kids did great, and we were excited about it.
Very nice. We're chatting with Coach Larry Degan of the Ponca City Wildcat cross-country team, head coach. Hennessy last weekend, big meet early in the morning. The meet started at 8:15. Your first runners were out at 8:45. That's early, but that's pretty typical, isn't it, for cross country?
It is.
And they're used to running early, right?
Right, and a lot of meets start at 9 in the morning, so they're used to that.
Yeah.
And it's cooler.
Yeah.
I mean, it didn't really get hot until just at the very end when we were getting ready to leave. So that worked out well. It did get hot later in the day, so we were fortunate. When we left town, we were in torrential rainfall. We almost had to stop the bus, but we made it through. And closer we got there, the less it rained. It didn't rain at all over there, so it went off well.
Very good. Now, taking the teams, it's not just the Ponca City Wildcat high school varsity and junior varsity. You have the junior high Wildcats, and everyone is Wildcats this year. Mm-hmm. So you have the junior high Wildcats. Taking that many runners, I mean, how many runners did you have out on that course?
Well, I think we took a total of 65 kids over there, and we did have a lot of middle school kids. And I'll tell you, the middle school boys, they took 3rd, 4th, 8th, 9th, 14th, 15th, 20th. I mean, they did great. And the middle school girls did really well. Ashlyn Bickford was 2nd. Lady Reynolds was Let me see where she was. She was 21st, and we're talking about a race with 105, 110
Wow.
kids, and
Wow.
you know, a lot of these races they may have upwards of 200, 300 kids in them,
Wow.
and so they did really well. Justin Thompson and the high school boys, he was 9th. And let me see, there were 144 kids in that race.
Wow.
And so he did really well. Stockton Lee's a new guy that just come out this year. He was 38th out of the 144. He's never run before in his
Wow.
life, and he's just doing amazing. There's a lot of kids.
It's kind of a nice surprise as a coach when you have a new kid come out and say, I want to try it out.
Kennedy Brown came out as a high school girl. She's a freshman. She came in 16th out of, let me see how many girls were in that race. It was 128. So, I mean, we've got some kids that's really stepping up and getting better. And as we'll go to Carl Albert this weekend and we'll run against some of the best runners in the state.
Yeah.
And we'll see where we are and how we need to get to where we need to be.
All right. Well, Friday, that is the day they load up the buses. Ponca City High School cross country on their way to a big meet at Carl Albert. And what makes this one extra big? Is it just more teams competing?
Well, you know, geographically, it's right in the middle of the state. And so all the biggest teams, all the Oklahoma City schools, the Edmond schools, and many of the Tulsa schools will come over to that meet because, you know, it's easy to get there. But it is a big meet, and there's just a lot of competition. It's kind of an early find out where you are meet.
Right,
You know, all the fastest teams typically show up there, and it's a good place to go.
Yeah, well, there are a lot of meets left in the season for Wildcat Cross Country. And Coach Larry Degan, we can't thank you enough. We look forward to more visits where we get updates on the cross country team. And, you got to really give a big shout out and a big thank you to all those parents that, like you said, that's pretty impressive to go down, even when their own athlete, their own kid is not running, to go down and support the others. That's pretty special.
It is. And, you know, we left at 6 o'clock Saturday morning, and when we brought the kids out of the building, the parents had a lane for us to walk through, and they're cheering us, playing the fight song.
At 6 in the morning.
6 in the morning, and I don't know how many were there, but there were a lot of them. They were from the building all the way down to the street where we had the bus parked, and they're clapping and cheering for those kids. And I mean, that's special.
Yeah, that really is.
Great group of parents.
Coach Larry Degan, the head coach of the Ponca City Wildcat cross country team. And Coach, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Looking forward to a great rest of the season, and we'll be visiting with Coach Degan on future episodes of Coach's Corner. Stay close, because coming up, the head coach of the Ponca City Wildcat football team, Coach Scott Harmon, joins us on Coach's Corner.